welcome to another Tuesday Night Watch Talk. I am your host, Bobby Legs. Hope you guys are having a great start of the week. This is stream one of the week, and of course we go on Fridays at 9 p.m. Just a little bit of just a little announcement, a little house cleaning. Marcus, December 6th, right? We have a big announcement.
We do have a
What
big
do we do?
announcement. Yeah, we've got an announcement that's going to hopefully, be one of the most important days in the history of this live stream. So,
Yeah,
the third annual ASS Awards will occur Tuesday, December the 6th
yeah.
at 9 p.m.
Yeah. Sponsored
So,
by Amin Straps and other sponsors that I'm sure
and Meta World
we'll have.
Luxury.
Yeah, right, Meta World Luxury, absolutely. Excellent, excellent. Wolfie, oh man, you're gonna be going back home soon, and I'm glad to get you here at least one last time. It might be for a while, but how are you today, man?
Good, good.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the award show. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna watch it on delay, right? Because
Yeah,
but I do enjoy waking up the next morning usually and seeing your comments on the stream because you're
sometimes.
usually ahead of us a few hours. What do you
Yeah.
got on rest today?
The Grand Seiko
Wow.
SEY 009.
Is that the one you picked up from the trunk show
Yeah.
recently?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the Wolf Snakes.
Can I just make like an executive decision here? Can we
Sure.
just call it the Wolfson? Because like I'm not doing a three-person portmanteau. It's gonna be the Wolfson, and that's it. It's not. We don't. Alex is. If you're third in, no, it's the Wolfson, guys. Like I'm not
No,
saying Wolf.
unfair though. It's not fair. I mean, okay, but who else?
We're not doing Wolf Exon. Come on, guys. The Wolfson sounds so much better. It just
Yeah.
rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
If you're third,
Absolutely.
you're not in the portmanteau, guys. That's
Yeah.
El Wolfson. El Wolfson, maybe.
There- there-
Elson
Look,
Wolf.
there's plenty of other watches that Alex has that other people have that
yeah,
we could make a combination of
yeah.
for
The
sure.
the, the Wolfson. I'm executive decision here, guys.
Okay,
It's the Wolfson.
fair enough, fair enough. King of Triacted, how how are you?
I'm pretty proud to be like the only guy on the regular panel who's not like milking the man flu for all it's worth. So
Yeah.
glad to be here.
What do you got on wrist?
I've got the Millhouse Milgauss, Millhouse the Milgauss.
Nice. Um, hey Dib, what's going on, buddy?
Doing well. How are you all? It's,
Good, good. Liking the shirt? Liking the shirt? Are the sneakers matching the shirt today?
no, unfortunately, no.
No, no.
Oh,
What
dude,
do you
I'm going to
have?
show you something. Oh, let's see.
Uh,
Look at this malachite pen to match your
Nice.
malachite sneakers, malachite watch, just for you,
man,
Dib.
just for
Thank you.
Deb.
That looks lovely.
You wouldn't happen to be wearing the Formex this evening, would you?
Now I'm wearing my Pam
Okay,
176.
very very nice. I was wearing my Pam most of the day today. It was one of those days where I just wanted to throw it on and hadn't worn it in a while, and it's got a great strap on it that I like wearing it. But this evening I'm going with a little bit of an evening watch here. I'm going with the man that light really washes it out. It's
I
the that
know.
Citizen, the Citizen, the Citizen Chronomaster. Um, very very
I
nice, comfortable
I feel
watch.
like you need to get a German dress watch again, so like it can. So it's like it sounds like whenever I hear evening watch, I think of you in like a smoking jacket
Yeah,
and like like you've got a whiskey and a pipe and you're wearing your
yeah. I mean,
German made.
I had the fire,
Yeah,
right? I had that
I think
going on today.
you need a German made dress watch again.
Yeah, but what do you think though? I mean, like, I want to, it's something that I have been tossing around, and I was thinking about there was that um, Glazut Senator Big Date, but it's a 44 millimeter case, and it's a nice looking watch, but I think it's a little bit too big for an evening watch, right? Um,
I think you need to
any
save up and get a Jordan
suggestions?
Bluth. I think you need to
Dorm?
save up and get a Jordan Bluth. I
That's
feel like
pretty.
that's yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
man.
know.
I mean, like yeah, man. That's basically that's what I want to hear.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Dorn Bluth. I would love to get a Benzinger. With
Yeah,
not the yoke.
same thing.
but I just like like straight up guilloche, like just um, great looking watch. But
Yeah, you
yeah,
can
no,
just
I think
look
you're
at it in
right.
the firelight.
What was that?
Look at it by the firelight. Look at the
Oh yeah.
guilloche.
Oh, you're so right. You're so right, Marcus. You're instigating. But no, I think you're right. I think it's a high time, maybe next year at some point. But I'm excited because tomorrow, and we'll talk about new watches coming in. But um, tomorrow I'm getting a new watch coming in, right? I'm getting the spacecraft, the Romain Jerome spacecraft that's coming in. It's passed through the authenticator today. Very, very excited about that watch. And yeah, yeah, I'm
That
I'm
is, that
I'm
is
ready.
not an evening watch.
That is not an evening
Definitely
watch.
not an evening watch.
That's like going to like
That's like
the
if
club.
someone who works from home who like goes into work the office like once a week.
It's totally
And that's what you wear into the office that one day of the week.
yeah, okay. Oh, sure, sure, sure. I'm just waiting to get like some of the reaction from my friends who are kind of like I'm meaning locally, right? Friends who are
Yeah.
kind of into watches, but will not be into that, and they're gonna be like, "What is that?" They're gonna give me a fa I'm gonna make, I don't even want to explain it to you. I don't even have time to explain it to you how awesome this watch
Like
is.
you can't argue with the horology behind it. You can argue with the form factor, but that has got unassailable horological pedigree in that watch. That's
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, very excited. Anyway, let's say hello to the chat, and then we'll get into our topics this evening. Chaz is here. How you doing, Chaz? Yeah, almost at 5K. Hopefully I'll get there soon. Deech is here. How you doing, Deech? Bill K is here. AZ Clayton, how you doing, buddy? Joey B, what is up? Wilson's here. Um, James, he's here in New York City. I saw a picture of him on Instagram with a big piece of pizza. Looked really good. Hey, Colin with the man flu. Hope you're doing good. Nilo's here. Hey, Keith. Good to see you. KR Joy's here. Mason one is here. How you doing, bud? Good evening from the middle of the night in UK. Up past my bedtime again. You guys in the UK, man, you stay up. I appreciate it. Um, Colin, sick as I've been in recent memory, but I'll be okay. Justin is strapped in. Pale Horse is here. How are ya? Quicker than drawing. How you doing? Good to see you. BJ's here. Mr. Time Hill. Hey, Mike is here. How are you, sir? Good to see you. Um, let's see. Hello. Hey, guys, let us know what you're wearing on wrist. That's always a fun game to play. Kevin S is here. Good to see you, Kevin. Um, catching up to a lot here. The Wolfexen. The Wolfexen. Hmm. Now, I think the
Let's go
decision has
from
been
bad to
made.
worse.
Yeah.
The decision's been rendered.
Yeah. Brendan Nelson here. Hey, how you doing, Brendan? Um, uh, Joey B, slumming it with the outstanding Trident 300, Christopher Ward. He's very impressed with that watch, Joey B. Um, Div gave AJ a 14 head start. He just stopped shaving this morning. Oh, I'm sorry. I just dropped. Uh, surprised the Christmas tree isn't. No, the problem is the Christmas tree doesn't get set up that early, Joey. It's that it stays until like February. That's that in March. That's you got it in the wrong end. It's the other end. Stefan's here. Hey, Stefan. Good to see you. Jeffrey O'Neill, all the way from Perth, Australia, wearing his Black Bay ceramic. Excellent, excellent watch.
He's either up super early or super staying up super late. Can't
Yeah,
tell.
right, right. Hey, Rampart's here. Rampart won the Citizen Sayosa. So I will be sending that as soon as he gives me his info. And yeah, so excellent. Also, just a quick side note here. So Rampart won the Citizen Sayosa. I've been giving away a watch every month. I'm gonna give two watches away this month. So next Sunday I'll do a video and I'm gonna be giving another watch and then two watches in December leading up to the holidays. So now I'm only doing one watch a month. I'm doing two watch giveaways a month. So, guys, if you just be aware, just watch out for that video and make sure you enter. Hey, Nilo, Bobby, I keep waiting for the EZM13. Yeah, I may have put a pause on that one, Nilo, for now because of the spacecraft. Um, Beans, what's up? Dib's grumpy face suggested he's got some fiery hot takes tonight. I hope so. I hope
I
so.
feel like we should open the floor to Dib's hot takes first because we got to let him we can't let the energy sort of wane.
You
So
know what?
what's he got to rant about today? I want to hear it.
Yeah, you know what? I agree. Hey, so do you want to talk about Nintendo, Dib?
Uh, I bought a console. I don't want it. I'm returning it. That's all.
That's the hot take.
Okay, that's a hot take. Okay, all right. I mean, we'll go with that. What else? What else you got, Dib?
I don't know. Ask me something.
All right, let's go back to our
Man,
regular scheduled
Okay,
programming.
let's go back. Vinny's wearing the Moser Pioneer Funky Blue tonight. Oh man. Hey, Johnny won straps that I gave away a couple of weeks ago from the live stream, and he's getting the message that's arriving today. Good, awesome, man. Enjoy those straps. First hot take: Beans is very overrated. Bezos is much cooler. Kevin, what? Uh, what did I miss? You didn't miss much. Big wrist. The North flag is on wrist. Okay, so you know what? Let's do this. We're gonna take a look at some new releases. Okay, and then we're gonna talk about watch strategy, like selling watches to buy watches and moving up per se, and potentially, and then somebody here in the panel has is in a pickle, is in a quandrum. Like they need to talk something out, and we're gonna finish up with that. So let's share the screen and let's see what's come out. I think there's been a couple things. We're gonna probably pass on the
Yeah,
Wristmaster, right?
pass. Pass.
Okay.
Show
All
them
right.
Bulgari.
I will. I will. Um, okay. So first off, the Maurice Lacroix Acom Master Grand Date. Don's on. I thought it was a French word. Don's on a black suit. Oh, that was terrible. Um, okay, so I have to admit, when I first saw this, I was like, wow. And then like, okay, it's 9K. It's a little much. Uh, Marcus, have a feeling you have an interesting take on this, or you're
No, I don't have an
either
interesting take. I hate it.
you hate it. So
It's not
what
that
is it?
interesting.
Is it Maurice Lacroix? Is it the layout? Is it
It's
what?
everything.
Yeah.
I don't think the skeletonization is done particularly well.
Mm,
I never thought I've never said to myself, "Gosh, I wish Maurice Lacroix had a grand date," and I don't think I've ever said, "Should I spend $9,000 on a Maurice Lacroix?"
yeah.
So all of those
Fair
three
enough.
things, and I was like, no."
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm not. One thing I would say, I overall I think I like it. Not enough to spend that kind of money or to buy it at all. But I'm not really too crazy about the frame out here on the date window. Dib, what do you think about this release?
I mostly agree with Marcus, and I don't know why they use the same case, which is this is 9 grand, right? The
Yeah,
cheap quartz pieces, that's like 300-400 bucks.
Yeah.
So it's the same case. Like that seconds hand, like that looks ridiculous. Is that skeletonized, or I don't know? Like the date looks like an afterthought. Like look at the font on the date. Oh, that's ugly. So now, I
Okay.
mean, you'd have to pay me to buy, like to wear it. So
it's
Fair
a head of a
enough.
chicken. It's a head of the chicken watch. It's like, do you want to be tail of the dragon or head of the chicken? This is a head of the chicken watch. Don't buy the most expensive watch for an entry level brand.
Yeah. Um, Wolfie.
Um, the
Wolf, if
non
you buy this watch, it will count.
yeah,
Just saying.
ridiculous. A
Yeah.
non-blacked out one that came out a while ago, I think. Or
Yeah.
maybe I'm confusing it with some other. I liked more that was around 5.
Right.
It's just the prices. It makes it, it's it's so ridiculous.
Fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough. I mean, like nobody. I don't think I mean, nobody's gonna pay 9K for this, right? I mean, like,
Let's say it was 3,000. Would you pay 3,000 for this?
I think I would.
I
No.
wouldn't,
Yeah.
but it would kind of. I would
I
probably
would.
say, yeah, if you like it.
For
For,
for 3 grand, if I wanted like an integrated case design, I'd go for the Bell and Ross BR05. That looks much better than this. Like
Yeah.
no question. Even that Bremont one, that looks better than this, and that's saying something because that's ugly too.
mm,
Yeah,
wow,
kind of look.
strong.
I mean, might just be the picture, but on the pictures I've seen, it looks cheap.
I could see that. I could see that. I don't know if that's a product of the what is this? Is it
Could be the
DSL
picture.
DLC
DLC,
coding or
DLC, yeah.
whatever? I, and so it lacks refinement of like of the polishing and the brushing of a stainless steel case. Do you know what I mean? So, but I can see that. I can see that. Hey, Amin, how are you? Good to see you. Um, date reminds me of an Haraj. Um, hey, Wayben's here. How you doing? Got caught in the train and in the rain and had to take the train. Yeah, raining here in the New York City area. Kevin S. would go Raymond Wildstead. That is music to Amin's ears. Um, yeah, I mean, Mason, I would say, yeah. I mean, like, it kind of like has that look of the Pano Reserve or Panomatic Lunar, that kind of vibe with it, with a smaller dial for the time and a big date, but totally different. I mean, totally different league here. That glass shoot. I mean, that glass shoot is in a totally different space than this watch for sure.
Well, same price though.
Yeah, that's true, right? I mean, like, yeah, yeah. I mean, the price is the killer here, right? On this, Roar is saying 2K limit, 2K limit. Big risk, 40% next week. You'll see it. There is absolutely no market for this watch, even at 75%. Kevin really hard on this one, on this piece right here. And saying Maurice Lacroix masterpiece gravity looks much better than me. To me, actually holds the value pretty well. I was looking for a deal on that one a long time ago. Um,
I don't even know whether I accept this watch if it was given to me for free, because like a free watch still has an
wow.
opportunity cost, right? Because I have to like not wear one of my nicer watches. Like I don't think this is even worth the opportunity cost of, wearing it on the wrist if it was given to me for free. That's how much I dislike it.
Well, I feel
Anyway,
like I was like totally off base with this one then, man. I mean, like now it's everything what everybody's saying is makes sense to me, but my initial thought was like, oh, I kind of like it. Hmm.
I mean, it's not super ugly like some other things that came out today, but it's, eh, it's just
Okay, fair enough. Let's move on. Um, yeah. So I think, are you referring to this, Wolfie?
yikes. Yeah.
yes, I am.
What is this?
I don't
What
even know.
is this?
It's probably 15K or something, or 20.
Yeah, let's before we, yeah, let's
We need to know the
investigate
price
this.
on this.
Dip what he thinks.
All right.
Dib, what do you think about this one?
We need a dip take.
I will wear this if I can get the suit. I need the whole ensemble. Like it can't be just the watch. I need it all. Then I'll buy. But I
20,
What
I
suit?
don't like it. I sometimes it's the hobby bobby influence. Like weird. But I
Who's
don't know.
who's gonna wear this though? Is it gonna be like a hotel lobby hypnotist? Like who's this watch
yeah,
for?
Exactly. That's why you need the suit to go with it. It's the whole ensemble. Like you need everything. Like like
Where
a
is Hobby Bobby? Because he's got to answer for this one. We got to find out if this is something that he would.
Is he the biggest Bulgari apologist?
No, no, just not per se. He's just the biggest, like, off the wall kind of design, kind of
No.
like, you know.
What does Ross think of it?
Well, that's what we would like to know.
Yeah.
Oof, that Bulgari makes me glad I traded away my Bulgari.
I mean, I do have one technical question though. So let's say, I buy this watch, I'm a skinny guy, I remove the links. The art is gone, it's screwed up. I mean, I don't think they thought of that, to be honest.
You
Like
know,
remove.
BJ, yeah, BJ, I mean, someone with full sleeve tattoos, yeah, I mean, at least they'll kind of like, I wouldn't say match, but maybe go with the flow of that, if somebody, but if somebody with full sleeve tattoos, I just don't see them wearing this kind of watch.
Well, wouldn't it throw off the tattoo? Like I think when you do a full sleeve, like you put a lot of thought into it, and then this is just
Yeah,
chaos, right?
yeah.
It's got just like random swirls, and you might have had this like meticulously planned like design tattoo, and then you've got this swirls of chaos that sort of interrupt the flow of your watch, of your tattoo.
Oof. I mean, 26
It's
grand,
rough.
right?
Oh my goodness.
Does it have anything else going for it? Sunglasses titanium case.
Limited. Some
It's
Yeah,
art,
limited to 30 pieces.
some
they had the
some
gall.
connection to an artist or something.
30 pieces. This is gone though, right? I mean, nobody's getting their hands on this, right?
Yeah, this is gone. But I
Yeah.
mean, I
I don't
yeah,
know.
it's just for people with FU money that probably will never wear it.
Yeah. It looks much better after you chug some NyQuil. Uh, hey Jacob, good to see you. Um, I would be more impressed, says James, if the movement finishing also echoed the Ed Hardy style. See, that's the thing. You just nailed it, James. Not, yes, the case, should have echoed it. It would have been nice, but now I can't like not think of Ed Hardy. Um, Bulgari Octofinissimo usually nail it with its thin simplicity. This one is just a bit off. Fashion brand of Bulgari rears its head. Would go well with the barbed wire or tribal tattoo. Oh man. Uh, thank
Yeah,
goodness
but
they only
usually
made.
people with barbed wire and tribal tattoos match their tattoos with Hublots. So
That's true. Big wrist. I'd rather buy a Toyota Corolla. Dib, would you rather buy a Toyota Corolla than have this watch?
No, I'd rather buy this watch and the suit. I'd get it custom made.
So wait, so it kind of sounds like you like it.
I like it. I told you.
Yeah. All right. Maybe I just didn't want to hear it. Maybe I was trying to shut it out. Um,
And he doesn't like it.
yeah, best it belongs in a
I'm
curio.
telling you, Wolfie, this is the perfect. Well, Marcus is right with one thing. This is a watch you buy when you have a few money.
Yeah.
So
Why
let's
would
say, hold on, let me finish. So you have the suit, you have the watch, and I have a beard. So I'll just, whiten it up in the same way, like how the watch is. And then I go to some fashion ball, gala thing, and, I'll
Yeah.
bell off the ball.
Man, if
Sim-
you were a Bollywood actor and you wore this, dude, yeah, dude, Deb,
you could pull it off.
you could pull. I think you could totally pull it off. Moko Paletta's work with Sarpaneva seems a lot more fitting. That art doesn't seem to work with Bulgari. Huh, good point there, Demeans. Sneakers to match, Deb. Um, Still a no for Deb. Okay, all right. Moving on. Anything else here? Oh, okay. All right. So some of you may know that I am a fan of Frank Muller, and I will typically slam brands that are very homage or do something very homage. But I love this. I have to. I mean, this one right here, and these are um, these are in partnership too with Waco and Revolutionary Watch, right? These Grail watch collaborations, which pains me. But this watch right here, I totally love it. I know it's only like 38 or 39 millimeters, um, and it's ridiculously expensive. I would never be able to afford or buy this, but I just love this piece. What did you guys think of these? Marcus?
I don't mind the styling. I think I do like when they sort of revive the old movements and
Hmm.
do them well. The price is ridiculous though. It's
Yeah, yeah,
insane. And buying a Frank Muller uh, in this economy is insane.
No, absolutely. And Kevin, I mean, Furlong Miller. I mean, like, hey, dude, I get that. I know you're kidding, but like, that's also another thought that's in my head, right? Um,
Yeah, I'm sure the finishing on this is a lot better
oh
than
yeah, yeah,
from
yeah, for
Berlin
sure.
Mary Shitter. Um, but and I think the styling is a little bit better, to be honest. But yeah, the $26,000 is a non-starter for
It's
me.
pretty steep, and you can get all three for like 60, right? Or
Yeah.
60 something. Wolfie.
Or you can get an MBNF Evo.
Oh yeah, yeah. Wolfie, thoughts?
Um, I like the look of them. You
Yeah.
know, I have no idea about quality, movement,
Well, it's a
anything.
Lamagna. It's a
Not
finished
Lemania.
Lamagna.
That doesn't mean anything to me. But
It's like the base for like the Ed White and similar base to the Ed White and
okay,
some of the older Pateks. It's a good movement.
so if it's a good movement, probably price is still too high.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't like the Revolution connection,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I like the look.
Yeah. The Revolution connection is a little bit of a downer for me. Dib, does that bother you?
Honestly, the price is a little high,
Mm-hmm.
but other than that, nothing bothers me about these three watches. I just love them. Like
Yeah.
I really like the Tricompax one, not the Rotopound. Um, if this was, well, I don't. It'll never be below 10. I'd probably buy one.
Yeah.
But again, like here's where I start to talk myself out of it. That same Lemania 1873 Frank Muller,
I know. I know where you're going with this. God.
you, you can get the same chrono movement in a Breitling Navitimer for 2600
Yeah.
service, so it's very
But I
difficult.
mean, yeah. Yeah.
So that's all of them are steel.
I would think so, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they're all steel.
Yeah.
White gold be a good price then.
Let's see here. Full set 64,000.
Good Lord.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know if I had a ton of money, I'd get it. I mean, I think I think I'd get the whole set. But I mean, if I, had a ton of money, I mean, I'd also, I don't know, probably be doing a lot of other things with my life. Um, can it be flipped? Nope. Dib officially talked himself out of this one.
Kevin, like ever since I saw your Frank Muller, I've been jonesing for one. Something from the mid 2000s, obviously toxic, obviously cheap.
Hmm.
I kind of like the tonneau case. It's pretty
Yeah.
classic. But
You
again,
can,
I wouldn't pay more than 4 grand. I mean, I've seen gold calendar Frank Mullers for 5 grand. So that's
yeah.
a four.
Anything coming out of Japan is coming out pretty cheap. For Mullers, if you're on eBay or buy between $2,000 and $4,000, there's a whole lot of options
I think if you're
for
gonna get
Frank
Frank
Muller.
Muller, you've got to get a tonneau. It's got to be a tonneau. I wouldn't
Yeah,
take anything
I
less.
agree. I agree. Um, Mason one. If I had 64K, I would be looking. I won't be looking at this. I'd be looking at a long zone. Yeah, very, very okay. Good point. Good point. Um, could buy an ALS 1815 and a Saxony for that price of that set. All right, yeah, I get it, guys. I get it. I just have a soft spot for Frank Muller. It is what it is. Um, Speaking of flipping and selling some watches, let's segue to another topic here, and it's something because I'm in the middle of uh, doing, and that is selling some watches to fund another watch. And is that a strategy that in these market conditions, um, is it a good strategy is it a good strategy to hold? Now, Dib, you're familiar with selling watches, and buying watches, right? What do you see market trends now? I feel like you have a really good pulse of what's going on and what's selling and not selling these days. What do you think is going on here with sales? Is it time? Is it still not a good time to buy, or is it a good time to buy? What do you think? What are you seeing?
I think it's a good time to buy.
Mm,
Like especially any brand. Like anything non-hype is back to toxic prices relatively. Anything hyped is back slowly going down. I think it's just the only the only thing is you might find prices which are very agreeable on a watch you may like, but then you're kind of stuck with it. So
yeah,
like for me, I kind of stopped buying for now. Let's get that out of the way. But it's just you know honing in what you exactly want. Especially if it's more expensive, like above 2 grand.
yeah.
So uh,
Is
it's it,
it?
it's difficult to sell right now because everybody
Yeah.
wants a deal or
Hmm.
everybody lowball. So that's
Hmm.
how it is. That's how it goes.
It seems like a dangerous time to buy watches you like but don't love because
Exactly.
everything's so cheap. It
Hmm.
seems like a very dangerous time, and you're probably better off if you're not sure to sit on the sidelines. I feel like
Now,
because
now,
you buy something and regret it, you're not going to be able to get rid of it.
now to
Hmm.
expand on that, what you just said, Marcus, is it a good time to buy something you really love that you know is really, really toxic?
Yes, probably. Yeah.
Because you could probably find those watches at a really, really good price. You'll enjoy them, and then if the market comes up a little bit and you want to get out of it, maybe because you bought it so low, um, you might be able to at least, like, get your money's back, or lose a little bit of money if that's your intention anyway.
I think you've got to at least tell yourself it's a keeper. Like, I mean, or everyone's different, but you've got to at least tell yourself it's a keeper, whether that sticks or not. You at least have to tell yourself it's a keeper.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Selling though in this market, Deb, what
Kind
what
of
is what is selling right now?
kind of brutal actually. I
Yeah.
mean, if you have well, I mean, sub 1000 doesn't really matter because you'll find buyers for them all day. But
Yeah.
if you're selling something for 5 grand, 6 grand, 7 grand, it's getting very difficult. And this is just from dealers trying to sell anything non-Rolex. For example,
Hmm.
Chronomaster Sport Zenith 7200 sitting, nobody's buying.
Yeah.
A
Any modern Breitling, eh? Any modern Breitling is toxic. Yeah.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
saw 2-year-old, sorry, 3-year-old Navitimer B01 movement for 3,800 not selling. What's
Wow.
the retail? Retail is close to 9.
Wow.
So it's just, like if you were in the market for a Navitimer, definitely go and get it because that's as good as it gets.
Yeah.
If not,
Kevin's saying don't just buy deals in this market, seek out watches that you really want and are priced better now. Agree with Marcus 100%. Wolfie, is there something now that you thought maybe a year ago would have been out of your reach, that is more realistic now?
I don't really look at much. I'm not into it. Like Dibis, he sees everything that's going on. I don't see anything.
Yeah.
I I don't really like buying pre-owned anyway. I mean,
Hmm. Okay.
I agree with with Kevin that, and I mean, I never, well, I shouldn't say never. I learned my lesson. I don't buy because of a cheap price.
Hmm.
I buy because I like the watch and
Yeah.
not. Well, I'm kind of. I did it in the past that something kind of is too good to be passed on, but I don't do that anymore. So it's if something would come up, at a trusted dealer at a great deal that I really liked
Yeah.
anyway, I probably, I think it's a good time.
Are
But
you are you are you are you getting so you have a few dealers that you deal with, right? Um, are they contacting? Are they is the convers are they initiating more conversations saying, "Hey, I got this, I got that," or no, oh, no, nothing like that yet?
They the few I work with, they know that it makes no sense to kind of come up with a deal for me because I never even had those conversations. They know
Mm,
that I tell them exactly. I've been kind of in it long enough to exactly tell them if I want something. I
mhm.
never have conversations about if this would make sense to me or if this is a good deal or if this is nicely discounted now. I never had those conversations.
Yeah, yeah. Is it a good time? And I'll open this up to anybody here. I'm trying to get to budget neutral on this last purchase, and I'm finding it a hard time to sell a couple of watches that I had that are not like your typical, um, mainstream type brands. Um, what should I do? Should I just sit on the sideline with those sales and just like take them off market? Dib, what do you think? Or should I, just get the best that I can get?
Uh, if you're not hurting, I'd say keep the listing up.
Hmm.
Maybe bump it a few times a week, not every day. Eventually, someone will probably give you an offer which is close to what you want.
Yeah.
If not, just keep it. The like eh, you're gonna get low balls here and there. So if you can ignore that, like if you don't need the money immediately, I think that
I mean, but
Dibless.
the other
Yeah.
problem is I know which brands you're thinking about, Bobby, and I don't know whether those are going to bounce back. Like, it's
Yeah.
like when you say buy and hold, like hold for now, those I think certain brands will bounce back. I'm not sure whether those two that you're thinking about will bounce back. So again,
Yeah.
you got time value of money and whatnot. So um, cash is king. So
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
bit of a tough
Yeah,
tough
especially
squeeze.
especially in this market and this economic conditions, you know what I mean? Cash is king, right? Um, BJ is saying, where do you sell your watches? So I'll answer for myself. Usually on some groups that I'm involved in. Reddit, I just started putting a listing. I put a listing on Reddit. Watch you seek. I'll put on there, and last resort is usually eBay, just because of the huge commission that they take. But those are the places. Dib, where do you sell typically?
I usually just do Reddit and what you seek most of the time. Um, like those two have been good for me. Like sometimes, I think I had a green Grand Seiko SBGM 241. I tried selling that, so I got it in May, and then I decided I don't want it in June. I finally sold it last month, so June to October. Now, did I keep at it? No. I mean, I'd post a listing maybe every 3 or 4 weeks,
Hmm.
see if anybody, bites. That's
Yeah.
about it. I wasn't like really needing the cash. So,
Mm.
like again, like it sold for a really, very cheap price, far less than what I'd anticipated it, but it sold. But
Yeah.
you have a few watches, like for example, they were already toxic to begin with before
Yeah.
even the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
They were already at the low end of what was possible.
Yeah.
For example, I've been seriously looking at a Breguet 7027 tradition. Um, Prices have always been like 50% of retail. Now, like I'm looking at a very specific combination, rose gold with a black dial. So prices are all over the board. I've seen few from China for 12, Japanese sellers for like 14, 15. Then you have US sellers for like 19, 20. So for those watches, it'll be interesting to see if they are going down, because as far as I've seen, it has not. The
Hmm.
prices have relatively stayed stable because they're already at their toxic low. So you have those deals, so that those really doesn't change.
Yeah. Keith, how long will you keep your watches for? What if the market doesn't? I mean, like I think it's for me, it's just a case by case scenario. You know, Let's see here. Jim T picked up a Starbucks from a friend who got the call from the AD and didn't want it. I gladly took it off his hands for a small markup. Couldn't resist. Well, congratulations, Jim. That's great.
Congratulations.
You,
It's
Jim.
awesome.
Yeah. Wolfie, you never sell, and Marcus, I feel like you mostly do trade.
I mostly do
With
trades.
yeah, with ADs, right,
Yeah.
and boutiques. Yeah. Um, well, speaking of Marcus, you kind of have a little conundrum going on here, and you want to talk it out. And
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what watch I'm going to pick next. And I think we touched on this a little bit on Sanjay's Waco's brothers stream. Basically, my AD is very generous with me. We have a great relationship and all that. He's a authorized dealer for both Parmigiani Fleurier and Chapec. And I narrowed it down to two watches, the Chapec Antarctique and the Parmigiani Fleurier PF Tonda with the micro rotor and the platinum bezel. The expectation is that I was probably going to, even though I wouldn't be able to get a discount on either of those, I would be able to get favorable trade-ins for the Tritone Seamaster, so that even though it's not budget neutral, sort of the out-of-pocket costs would be mitigated by that trade. Because again, because of the current market, if I'm not going to private sell my Tritone, because it would be a bloodbath, right?
right.
I'll be a bloodbath on the secondary. Like, I'd rather just sell it to Sanjay for a song than to try and private sell it to the wolves on Canadian Watch Club. So,
which you are a group expert, right?
Which I'm a group expert of. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was, and then the more I look at it, the more I love that Armin Strom, like Equal Force Gravity, the collective, and that throws a big monkey wrench into things, because with the Armin Strom, it's a whole different sort of financial calculus, right? Because you've got to pay full sticker. I'm not going to be able to leverage the Tritone Seamaster, and then
you have to be a member.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not going to be able to leverage that Tritone Seamaster, and I'm going to have to hang on to it, right?
Yeah.
So, sort of the out-of-pocket cost is pretty close. Is close to double what it would be for the other two watches. But that's such a great watch, right, guys? Like,
yeah, it's a beauty. It's a beauty.
Yeah.
Well, chat. Let's help Marcus out here. Let us know what you think. Wolfgang, what do you think Marcus should do here?
First of all, please keep the Tritone. Can't you sell a Rolex or something? I mean,
but see, this you don't want to sell Rolex right now. Like, that's the kind of brand exactly that you want to hold on to, right? Because that one is, out of all the brands that are going to bounce back, that's the one that's going to bounce back, right? Some of the other brands may not bounce back that have sort of.
I probably you're right. I mean, they make so much stuff. Who knows if it will ever get as crazy again? But I just wanted to say it's so good, the Tritone. I love it so much. So I was hoping it has a chance. But okay.
I suspect that if I trade it in, it might end up on Sanjay's wrist. I don't think it's going to leave our community.
Yeah, that helps a little. That's true.
It helps mitigate that. Yeah.
So the other thing, the way I look at it, whatever you like best out of the three. I mean,
I'm leaning towards the Armin Strom, if I'm being honest. And I've got 5 holdups that are not necessarily directly related to the watch itself. Number one is that the brand. Like, I don't know anything about this, because we talked about Chapec and Parmigiani and all that. I feel comfortable with the funding behind those two brands. Right, I trust them not to go belly up in the next 5 to 10 years. So that's number one. And again, that's not a function of the watch. Number two, I know Adrian on Bark and Jack likes to talk about 98% in-house, but at the same time, like, that works against it, right? Because if it's 98% in-house, it's more expensive to service, and if those guys go belly up, then you're kind of screwed. Right, because Parmigiani Fleurier at least it's a Vaucher and jetpack is a chronode, so it's not too bad. Like those they're called in house, but they're really kind of in group, right? So those are two things, and I hate sending out for service. Like because in Canada, I hate sending watches out. It's a huge pain. If I get the Parmigiani or Japan, I've got a great in-house watchmaker at my AD, and he can probably handle most of it. And if not, they can send out to Parmigiani or Japan because they're an AD. I've got no Arm and Strom support here, so those are kind of those are two things. Third thing we talked about is like the out-of-pocket costs, right? And I think the last one for me is that is kind of going towards Wolfie's chat on Sanjay's stream last week, where they were talking about like you can make anything happen, right? If you save up and you don't buy a couple of watches, and I'm kind of moving into like maybe one watch a year, one watch every other year, or something like that, and I'd rather get more substantial pieces. And the reason why I love the Arm and Strom is because there's so much going on the dial side, and I don't really have an interesting dial side watch. And this is the least important consideration, is that if I were to get like a big watch, it might be something like, you know, an MB&F sequential Evo, right, which would also be a dial side watch. And then would I regret this one? So those are kind of the four things that are holding me back from picking up the Arm and Strom. And I think the Parmigiani, the biggest wild card for me with the Parmigiani is I've heard how comfortable that is on wrist. It's significantly thinner than the other two watches. It looks more upscale with the platinum bezel. It's under 8 millimeters thick, while, you know, the Arm and Strom is close to 12, and the Japan is close to 11, right? So that's kind of where I'm at with those three. I'm not sure. So yeah.
Okay, well, let's get to the chat, see what the chat's saying, and then we'll get Dib's take on it. Hobby Bobby's here checking in. Hey all, was driving. The Octo is a big no for me. To Ed Hardy, oddly not fully against tattoo watches. I like the LW Octopus that are tattoo engraved. Keith says, I like posting watches on auction on eBay and hoping for the best. Once I decide I don't want to watch, I want it out. I hear you. I'm the same way. Um, green watches are where it's at. That's what Justin says. Go for the Parmigiani Tanda, Kevin says. Bulgaris, the Tritone is a beauty. I'd keep it. Colin saying, I like the Arm& Strong for you, especially considering a future watch, but understand that it is big out of pocket. Mike saying, go Parmigiani. Kevin S., not bad idea to sell the Explorer 2. That one won't go all that high again, and prices are fairly stable on the Explorer 2.
I think if I were to buy the Arm & Strom, the Explorer 2 would be privately sold. I'll set that.
Hodl on Rolex now. So hold Rolex. That's what Johnny is saying. Bounce back may occur in 2024 Q2 at best. I don't know why people think the bounce back is going to come anytime soon. Michael's here. Michael, Omega stays at a level might go up in small increments or down in small increments. Definitely not a swing. Rolex swing. Joey B saying Explorer 2 is an easy watch to go in and out of. I've owned it twice and may own it again. Marcus, I love that one watch per year philosophy. I hope to talk myself into that
that's
one
never
day.
Happening.
Yeah,
we love Wilson, but
that's never happening. Wilson,
especially if he's going to trunk shows with Wolfie.
Yeah, absolutely, and having some cigars and drinks. Antarctique for Michael. The Armin are so interesting to look up at close. Yeah. Scott saying, I think the Parmigiani is the best watch. I'm considering a Toric from the 1990s. They are high-end watches for people who love watches. I like those Parmigianis, the ones you're talking about, Scott.
Yeah, I mean the Guilloche is so much more easier to appreciate. Like both the Parmigiani and the Armin have really high-end Guilloche, but I think the PF, the Guilloche, is much easier to appreciate, especially because they've got like that frag pattern on the base plate for the Armin. So it's like when you've got like a blackened base plate, it's really hard to appreciate the Guilloche no matter how well it's done.
Yeah, gotcha. Easy Clayton, Antarctique over the PF, as it is a unique movement, not something shared with Hermes. Finished differently though. Caliber is saying, I think maybe you guys are buying the wrong watches. The value of my Invicta collection has been unaffected by the downturn. Dib, what do you think Marcus should do here?
So I saw all three watches at watch time, not the collective Arm& Strom, but
Hmm.
Sure.
if I had to choose with my heart, I choose the Arm& Strom
Mm,
because I talked to Serge Michel. I was spellbound, like like the watches they were so good.
hmm.
And Serge
But
Michel is the financial brains, right? It's like Claude Giesler is the mechanical, but Serge Michel is the
yeah, but I mean, I did not know who he was actually. So I came back home and Googled him, and that's when I knew. So the watch was so impressive in hand. I would go that, but considering that, like you have limited availability and serviceability, like all that, I choose the Parmigiani. Like that's a safe choice between these three. I don't think I choose a Chapek. I've seen it, I like it, but I just think the Parmigiani with the thinness and like it just draping your wrist, like it's like a
yeah.
Cartier bracelet. It just I just loved it. You know, I loved the rose gold more than the steel, but then again, that's like a 2x price jump. So I think if you are being logical, the Parmigiani is a better choice. Um,
Yeah.
I've
It's
seen a
it,
couple of those Armin Stroms, not that exact dial,
yeah.
for around 15 on Chrono 24. And obviously they sit for a long time because, like nobody
Well,
knows what it.
it depends on the dial, right? Because when you've those are I think the base ones are 16, if I'm not
Basements
mistaken,
are 16, the Sapphire
and
dial is
then
21-ish.
23, I think now.
Okay.
The Sapphire is 23, and the Kari dial that was like 15 LE
Mhm.
was 23 as well, and this is 25. Um, yeah. And the other question is, could I get should I go Sapphire? I could probably get that like maybe 4 grand cheaper, right?
That's
I,
what
I
And
I'm.
like I like the Sapphire a lot. That would be my
and then
pick.
Yeah.
and then I wouldn't be so worried about it. But I do like the aesthetic of the collective, the titanium and all that.
Hmm.
So
I got to
um,
tell you,
Sapphire.
when I went to watch time, I knew nothing really of Armstrong. I mean, I've seen them watches before, in really in articles and whatnot, but never really thought too much of them. Um, and then I saw them in person, and I was like, wow. It was like one of the I would say like there was like maybe three or four brands that and watches that really popped when I went to watch time. And they were one of them. I was really, really impressed with what I saw. It was just they're beautiful, beautiful watches made. Having said that, your concerns are valid. You listed the three or four points that are holding you back that are not necessarily watch related, related to the watch
which is
itself.
regrettable for sure. Like
Yeah, yeah. I think I mean, and having said that, in regards to all your other options, your two other options, I would go Parmigiani. I would go Parmigiani Armin and then Antarctique. I mean, and then Chapek. Um, but I do I could just vouch for how nice those Armin Stroms are in person. Um, Chris here from the Watch Long. What up, guys? Coming up on my 1 year hire. Congratulations, Chris.
congratulations, Chris.
Crazy, maybe celebrating with a new watch purchase. Stay tuned. Will do, man. Let us know. Williams here, all the way from Valparaiso, Indiana, wearing his vintage Omega Seamaster. Hi, William. Good to see you here. Kevin is saying that Tom the bracelet was super supple and thin on wrist, pure understated class.
Ciao.
um, Bobby saying that PF Tom the gray is not too far from the listing price of 1540 AP gray. That's where I'm torn.
Yeah,
Uh,
but I mean the shenanigans you have to go through to get a 15450, that's
Yeah.
non-existent for the Parmigiani. Like
hmm.
that's a hypothetical scenario which doesn't exist anymore.
Armand Strom Sapphire is the champion, Armand says. Ultimate Sapphire is really nice. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so listen, Marcus, not an easy decision for you. And I hope you get some tidbits from the chat and from Wolfie and Dib that will help with your decision eventually. I know
I
there's
think
no
I have to
rush
get
in it.
every. I think I have to get the other two on wrist. If the Armenstrom Collective it just sells out by the before I can get those two on wrist, it's not meant to be.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah,
that's
Does,
how I'm gonna.
does your
you'd
AD
ha
carry Arminstrom?
What's that?
Does your AD carry Arminstrom? Like, how would you even
No,
get?
that's the problem. Otherwise, if my 80 carried Armstrong, it would have been bought, and it would have been on. Well, it wouldn't be on my wrist, but it would have been on my wrist in March. Like it would have been bought because
Mm.
when Colin bought his collective, he just got it picked up at his AD, right? But we don't have an Armstrong AD here. If I had an Armstrong AD, it would be done
but
deal.
you have to go through the application process of getting into the collective, right? Which is
No,
probably not, no?
not for that watch. No, I
Oh,
think
okay.
if you buy the watch, it comes with a automatic membership, so you can actually just buy the watch if you go to their site.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Hey, Ep, good to see you. Oh, Johnny saying, good point. Armstrong can look a little Kickstarter, a watchish in pics, but stunning in
That's
person.
exactly what I thought too. But then I keep seeing all these macros, and now I'm regretting passing on that Voutilainen Jungle Green dial that was earlier this year. That's probably the best of the lot, to be honest. Like they had a steel Voutilainen dial that was the
Mm.
same money as the Ultimate Sapphire. It was a limited edition of 15, and that was around March. I think it sold out within several hours.
Romy saying, glad to see a few watches here that are almost obtainable. Well, look, hey, there's a lot of good deals out there. Really, there is. If you just follow Watchbox, for example, on eBay and put a bunch of watches in your watch list, they will come back to you eventually if they haven't sold with a discount. They'll offer a discount, and then if you can swing and get an eBay discount for another 10% somehow, that's how I kind of lucked into this price point for the Romain Jerome. Got it
Yeah,
for a
guys,
price.
just find a watch you like on Watchbox and just offer them 20% under asking.
Yeah,
Like there's literally nothing to lose,
yeah,
unless of course you don't really love the watch, and then you're stuck buying it if they say yes.
yeah. And then you have their 2-year warranty on top of that. You know what I mean? So which is legit and their legit outfit, right? But there's plenty of other deals going on, and the closer to Black Friday, I think we're going to see more and more stuff for sure. So just be out there. You'd be surprised what maybe could fall in your lap, I think. You know.
Yeah,
So well, guys, great chat as always. Uh, Chat, really, really appreciate all your input. Please be aware or just to keep in mind that I'll be giving away another watch this Sunday. I'll make that announcement. So just make sure you follow through with that video and see it and comment if you're interested. Dib, Wolfie, Mark, so appreciative of you guys joining tonight. And see you guys on Friday. Have a good night. Take care.
I guess.
Yeah.
Good
Bye.
night.